This is the official RIAT look back on 31st of May 2026 with the RIAT. To kick off the day, we started with the Typhoon display demo. This is a Typhoon that displayed from our local RAF Lossiemouth up in Scotland, putting on a fantastic show to kick off. Some high-speed manoeuvres, some high-G climbs performed via the aircraft itself, and some very extreme aerobatics coming from the aircraft. This isn't the first time that the pilot has displayed at a RIAT. He has displayed in multiple flying other aircraft, including the Extra 300. So a change of pace as he moved on to the Typhoon to display at such an airshow. Some of the manoeuvres are very high G, putting the pilot under extreme G forces, which he is having to withstand more than what he would have done back in any other aircraft that he used to fly when they flew in the RIAT. As you can see, the pilot is flying around, chucking it around quite a bit, and is showing off the afterburner and the extreme capabilities of the Eurofighter Typhoon itself, with a bit of a flare dump there. So, we move on to the next display of the day, the A-10 Warthog. A display, to say the least. It was a very entertaining display, with showing off the capabilities and the maneuverability of the A-10. As we can see, it has its inverted flight shown there, as it comes in for a camera pass view, as we would call it here at RIAT. And then the aircraft inverted, then rolls out, then breaks off to the left from the right side of the crowd. As you can see, the pilot is showing off once again the capabilities of the A-10 and what the A-10 is made of. Here we go, we can see a attack demo. So to describe that, the aircraft came down at what it would be aiming at a target, and then to break off and pull away. Making its first appearance ever at a making its first appearance in a flying display ever at the PTFS RIAT, we have the Beach King Air from the Royal Air Force. So this is an aircraft we haven't seen flying before in the flying display, and is a one-of-a-kind to the RIAT. We've had it on static display before, alongside with its with the P-8 Poseidon and everything. But this is the first time it has ever flown and been showcased in the RIAT at such a manner. The aircraft showed off some extreme stall manoeuvres and some high-speed passes, and also given us a good view of what the outside of the aircraft looks like. They also had a commentator come along and tell us more about the aircraft themselves in a deeper depth than what us commentators at RIAT would know. So as you can see, the aircraft is at a slow stall speed there, showing off. Now we move on, and we had part of the tanker and cargo theme. We have the A330 MRTT from the NATO. This was an impressive display, to say the least, as we got to see the most out of the A330 MRTT. So there we go, we can see the boom and the drogue is extended as he comes just above the crowd. So it's good to have the boom and the drogue fitted to one aircraft, as it means it can refuel multiple aircraft at a time. So with the drogues, aircraft that can be refueled is the likelihoods of the Typhoon, the F-35A, and possibly the B, from what I know. And here we are, a special edition here. We had the Vulcan come out and do some taxi runs. And then we moved on to, as we were just talking about, the F-35B. That put on a cracking display here at RIAT. Always does. Loud noises, high G performance, and some beautiful views, especially as it comes in with the hover here. So this is the F-35B variant. There are 3 different variants to the F-35. We have the F-35A here, as we can see, the F-35B, which is the hovering variant, and the F-35C, which is the carrier variant. The aircraft being shown off in the hover. The last time we saw an F-35 fly at a RIAT flying display, he was alongside the EA-Aviate-B Matador II, and they put on a great performance together during that show. So you can see the pilot is putting the aircraft through its paces as it is put into a slow roll and then pulled out of that. So the pilot would have seen some significant G. And yes, we moved on to the Chinook roll demo. So performed by RAF Odingham pilots. These are the RAF Chinook roll demo pilots performing and showing off and showcasing the Chinook at its power. Now the CH-47 is used in many different operations, and as we can see here, the Chinook is in a hover and we can see the waver out the back. A great performance via the Chinook. It was one of the most energetic displays we have seen through the RIAT of the time via a helicopter participant, and as you can see here, coming in just in the crowd and getting ready to taxi off. So a very great performance by them. And now from the United States Air Force, we saw what we haven't seen before showcased, a C-130 Hercules demo. And that was definitely something to see, seeing a C-130 as such being put through its paces, chucked around the sky as it should be, and showcased. Right here we can see the C-130 at a slow stall speed and is getting ready for its next manoeuvre. We'll then see it power up and probably bank off to the right. As it comes back in then, as we switch over to the next clip, we can see a flare dump via the C-130. That is defensive countermeasures. And it was also coming in at grave speed at the crowd, showing off how slow it can turn. The aircraft was put around about 170 to 200 knots of turn there with the gear down. Then we move on to the F-14 Tomcat. Now this was suiting for the RIAT as it has recently been passed the Maverick Act out in America to bring back 3 F-14 Tomcats. So this was such a great display to have because it gave us the opportunity to talk about the Act and also showcase the F-14 at its finest. As you can see, the wings are swept out there, using the flares a great lot, showing the defense mechanisms on the aircraft. And here it is coming in for a high-speed inverted pass. Yes, the wing swept back there to give it more aerodynamic performance. The Tomcat was probably one of the most iconic and probably the oldest aircraft we had in the flying display. We then moved on to another Typhoon demo coming from RAF Coningsby, the RAF Typhoon Blackjack demo. This is a high power, high speed, high adrenaline display. As you can see, the pilot has put the aircraft on the knife edge there to give a camera shot to the crowd. The aircraft is definitely one of a kind performance and features the iconic black scheme on the Typhoon. So as the Typhoon pulls back around, we can see he goes in for a roll and goes into a 3G negative pushover. So all the blood from the pilot's body is rushing straight to his head. That puts the aircraft under extreme G pressures as well. A high power demo and is a very extreme demo for the pilot to fly. We can see the aircraft is being put through a slow pass here, as we like to call a high alpha, showing off the ARA of the aircraft, which is an angle of attack. So that's pretty much how high the nose can go at such slow speeds. 4-point hesitation roll there via the aircraft, and it comes in for a landing. When it came in for a landing, we saw it do a split S maneuver at the end of the runway, requiring the aircraft to land in just under 5.5 seconds. As we move on to the next demo, we have the JAS 39 Gripen from the Swedish Air Force now. This is their 4th time flying at a RIAT flying display, and they never fail to disappoint. They never fail to please the RIAT crowd. Always put on a high energetic display. Always know how to please the crowd and how to show off the aircraft, showing off its great performance. Now, this is the counterpart of the Typhoon for the Swedish. So it's not as big as the Typhoon, not as heavy, and is pretty much as, well, it's more maneuverable than the Typhoon itself. It's a single engine Delta Canard Delta Wing design aircraft fighter, and is designed to take off from small highway runways, which are very crucial for Sweden. A very energetic display indeed. As we can see, the aircraft is in the invert there, rolls out and comes in for what looks to be a figure of 8 maneuver. It then comes down from the second part of the loop there, and then goes straight into a high alpha. And then we'll see a flare dump there. So that is showing the pure maneuverability of the aircraft itself. Now, the oldest aircraft that flew in the flying display. This is the first time it's ever flown for a RIAT flying display, so it was a grave pleasure to see this one. This is the Comet, the de Havilland Comet, and is a old BOAC and other airline passenger aircraft. We chose BOAC for the British theme of the Royal Air Force because this is a military flying program, but we gathered this one here as there was one that was willing to fly and showcase what it is like to fly such a aircraft. And it also continues with the cargo and tanker theme that we had going on in the May RIAT, as this is a passenger cargo, so it carries passengers. And as we come on to the end of that display, we move on to the Airbus Beluga, which was a great one to see. The Airbus Beluga is used to carry many of aircraft parts, and we thought it was well fitting to the theme of the RIAT of the weekend with the tanker and cargo theme that we had going. So the Beluga can be used to carry aircraft parts and rocket parts, which it has done in the past. And it was a great way to end the evening of the PTFS RIAT. And it was such a great display to see, especially from something so iconic. But as we come to the end of the video, we thank you for watching our highlights of the May 31st RIAT on PTFS, and we hope to see you again soon as we continue making air shows and pleasing the crowd. For now, goodbye.